Today I'm going to cover net worth-based budgeting system, a smarter approach to building wealth. In today's world, most people manage their finances through traditional budgeting methods that focus primarily on income and expenses. These methods encourage individuals to track every dollar they earn and spend, often dividing expenses into categories such as housing, food, transportation, and entertainment. While this approach can help control spending, it does not always provide a clear picture of an individual's overall financial health. As a result, many people earn good incomes yet struggle to build lasting wealth. This is where the net worth-based budgeting system offers a more effective alternative. Rather than concentrating solely on monthly cash flow, this system focuses on growing an individual's net worth over time. By emphasizing wealth accumulation instead of spending restrictions, it provides a long-term strategy for achieving financial security and independence. Net worth is one of the most important indicators of financial success. It is calculated by subtracting total liabilities from total assets. Assets include everything a person owns that has financial value, such as cash savings, investment accounts, retirement funds, real estate, and business interests. Liabilities include debts such as mortgages, student loans, credit card balances, and personal loans. For example, if an individual owns assets worth $500,000 and has debts totaling $150,000, their net worth would be $350,000. Unlike income, which only measures how much money a person earns, net worth reflects their actual financial position and long-term wealth. The net worth-based budgeting system shifts attention from daily spending decisions to the broader goal of increasing personal wealth. Instead of asking, "How much did I spend this month?" individuals ask, "Did my net worth increase this month?" This change in perspective encourages people to make financial decisions that contribute to wealth creation rather than immediate consumption. The system recognizes that financial success is not determined solely by how much money someone earns, but by how effectively they convert income into assets while reducing liabilities. One of the primary reasons this budgeting method is effective lies in its psychological benefits. Traditional budgeting often requires constant monitoring of expenses, which can become mentally exhausting. Psychologists refer to this phenomenon as decision fatigue. Research conducted by social psychologist Roy Baumeister demonstrated that people have a limited capacity for making decisions throughout the day. When individuals must constantly evaluate every purchase, categorize expenses, and monitor spending limits, they often experience mental fatigue that eventually causes them to abandon their budgeting efforts. This is one reason many people enthusiastically start a budget, but fail to maintain it over the long term. The net worth-based budgeting system reduces this burden by focusing on a single meaningful metric: overall wealth growth. Instead of analyzing hundreds of individual transactions, individuals periodically assess whether their assets are growing faster than their liabilities. This simplified approach allows people to concentrate on major financial decisions that have the greatest impact on long-term wealth. As a result, the system is often easier to maintain and more motivating than traditional budgeting methods. Another psychological advantage of this approach is its ability to create a sense of progress. Research by psychologist Teresa Amabile found that perceiving progress toward meaningful goals is one of the strongest drivers of motivation. When people track their net worth monthly or quarterly, they can observe tangible improvements in their financial position. Even small increases become visible evidence that their efforts are working. This positive reinforcement encourages continued saving, investing, and responsible financial behavior. Over time, the habit of tracking net worth transforms financial management from a restrictive exercise into a rewarding process focused on growth and achievement. Real-world examples further demonstrate the effectiveness of net worth-focused thinking. One of the most famous examples is Warren Buffett, one of the wealthiest investors in history. Despite his enormous fortune, Buffett is known for living a relatively modest lifestyle. He still resides in the same home he purchased in Omaha, Nebraska in 1958. Rather than spending large portions of his income on luxury goods, Buffett has consistently focused on acquiring productive assets that generate long-term value. His success illustrates a fundamental principle of net worth-based budgeting. Wealth is built by accumulating assets, not by displaying status through consumption. Additional evidence supporting this approach comes from the landmark study conducted by Thomas Stanley and William Danko, which was later published in the best-selling book The Millionaire Next Door. The researchers examined the financial habits of wealthy Americans and discovered that many millionaires lived surprisingly modest lifestyles. Contrary to popular stereotypes, they often drove ordinary cars, lived in average neighborhoods, and carefully managed their finances. Their common characteristic was not extravagant spending, but a strong commitment to accumulating assets and increasing net worth over time. These findings suggest that wealth is often the result of disciplined financial behavior rather than high income alone. Implementing a net worth-based budgeting system begins with calculating one's current net worth. This requires creating a complete inventory of all assets and liabilities. Once a baseline is established, individuals can set specific net worth growth goals. For example, a person with a net worth of $100,000 may aim to increase it by 10% over the next year, resulting in a target net worth of $110,000. This objective provides a clear direction for financial decision-making and shifts attention toward activities that contribute to wealth growth. The next step involves prioritizing high-impact financial decisions. Instead of focusing excessively on minor expenses, individuals evaluate choices that significantly influence net worth. Examples include purchasing a home, investing regularly, pursuing higher-paying career opportunities, paying down high-interest debt, or starting a business. These decisions often have a much greater effect on long-term financial outcomes than small daily spending habits. While controlling expenses remains important, net worth-based budgeting recognizes that major financial choices often determine overall wealth. A key component of the system is viewing purchases through a wealth-building lens. Before making a significant purchase, individuals consider how it will affect their future net worth. For example, spending $20,000 on a depreciating luxury vehicle may reduce future wealth potential, while investing the same amount in a diversified investment portfolio could generate substantial returns over time. This mindset encourages delayed gratification, a psychological trait strongly associated with long-term success. The concept of delayed gratification gained widespread attention through psychologist Walter Mischel's famous marshmallow experiment. In the study, children were given the choice between receiving one marshmallow immediately or waiting to receive 2 marshmallows later. Although later research revealed that various environmental factors also influence outcomes, the study highlighted the importance of self-control and long-term thinking. Net worth-based budgeting encourages a similar perspective by helping individuals prioritize future financial benefits over immediate pleasures. Despite its advantages, the net worth-based budgeting system is not without limitations. One potential challenge is that net worth can fluctuate due to changes in financial markets. Investment values may rise or fall in the short term, causing temporary changes in net worth that do not necessarily reflect financial progress. Therefore, individuals should focus on long-term trends rather than monthly fluctuations. Additionally, this system does not eliminate the need for responsible cash flow management. People must still ensure that their monthly income adequately covers expenses and financial obligations. In conclusion, the net worth-based budgeting system represents a powerful and psychologically effective approach to personal finance. By focusing on overall wealth growth rather than simply tracking expenses, it encourages long-term thinking, reduces decision fatigue, and promotes financially responsible behavior. Supported by psychological research and real-world examples from successful investors and wealthy households, this system shifts attention toward the factors that truly determine financial success: asset accumulation, debt reduction, and strategic decision-making. Ultimately, the goal is not merely to spend less money, but to increase the difference between what one owns and what one owes. In doing so, individuals can build lasting wealth, achieve greater financial security and move closer to long-term financial independence. Thank you for watching. In the next video, I will cover budget stress testing. If this video helped you understand budgeting better, subscribe to Budget and Build for more beginner-friendly finance tutorials.